thinking about is, you've completed your PhD in physics from Delhi University. So your pursuit for knowledge, specifically scientific vigor, is of utmost inspiration to all of us. And as a scientist, how did you reconcile that earnest seeking, of scientific knowledge in your spiritual quest? Did you come across many contradictions along the way? And if so, how did you explain it?
You are asking me that, how did I reconcile? Actually, I did not have to
Yes.
reconcile to anything. I did not have to reconcile because my spiritual quest, it surfaced in a very spontaneous manner. When I was working for PhD, suddenly it dawned upon me that in this world, everything is transitory. Everything changes. Especially being a young girl, I found that the joys that we have does not remain forever. Today, if there is a lot of fun and fair, friends or maybe some get together, it just goes away. So I started feeling, what is this? Then what is life? If nothing is permanent, is there anything permanent here? I had very good family, very good education, very good upbringing, best of teachers, everything I had. Still, I don't know, I should say that now I say that this is blessing of God that I started feeling like this and became very disinterested. Not that I stopped doing anything, everything I was doing. Nobody understood my condition from outside, but inside I was weeping, thinking, what is this life about? And is there a higher purpose of life? Is it every day going, getting up and doing the same things again and again? And at the end of the day, you sleep off. And everything is uncertain in this life. So somehow these things came. And when I started having these feelings, that is the time I came to know Baba Gangadhara Paramahamsa, our Pujya Swamiji's Gurudev. And I started writing to him. And he replied me in his own, he was old at that time, and he was writing in his shaky handwriting. But all that he instructed, it gave a world of peace, happiness, hope, and confidence. And what did he say? He said, God is within you. Don't fear. This is what he told me. And he said, there is a wonderful world within, source of permanent happiness. Pursue it. So, actually speaking, Kavita, you asked whether I had to reconcile. Nothing was imposed on me. So when there was no imposition, where is the question of reconciling? It just happened. And when I look back, I find it has been such a blessing, such a spontaneous thing in my life. And from the time I stepped onto this path, I was just between 23, 24, and I started having a new meaning in my life. It was very enriching and enlightening. And I felt the path ahead was bright, brighter, brightest, as if so many lights are there in front. As we all know this time, many of you youngsters are listening, all the four of you young MCs. When I say these things, and when I say you all, I feel, I just go back to those days, and I feel that the youngsters should come to know that there is such a path. You don't have to go away anywhere. You can pursue this path, and this path will give you confidence, hope, and a lot of meaning for this life. So this life, when I started pursuing, it became an adventure for me. And mind you, I had not seen Baba by that time. I was only writing to him, and he used to reply me. But it was wonderful. Now, you are asking me, is it not, that were there any contradictions? Is it not? Okay. So there was no contradictions at all between the spiritual path and the scientific pursuit. I did not find any contradiction because both were pursuit of knowledge, and I was given to knowledge. I was a seeker of knowledge. And in physics, as you know, the physics is such a branch of knowledge where you have to go deep into the subject. Not only that, with physics, and while especially one takes up research in physics, one has to be very committed, very dedicated, organized, methodical, and one has to have a lot of patience and endurance, because we will be having experiments to do, and many times what we think the results will come, the results will not come. So we must have patience and endurance. Not only that, we have to have the even-mindedness. What I spoke about yesterday in my talk, the samatva bhava, even-mindedness for the results. So we may be giving a lot of effort, we have worked day after day, but then when the results come, it is not up to satisfaction. So while doing any research, I think any PhD student has to have commitment, dedication, endurance, patience, and even-mindedness. If one doesn't have, one will suffer. So all these things I was having while doing my research of physics. So when I stepped into the spiritual path, all this helped me a great deal. And it was not difficult at all. Contradictions were not there. And very soon, I understood it is very different from learning and pursuing any academic subject. In academic subjects, from childhood, we have been studying many subjects from, say, English, language subjects, say English, etc., then history, geography, then science subjects, mathematics, all of that. All that, and if you do any master's, higher studies you do in these subjects may make you a master of the subject. But it doesn't compel you to change your personality. You may be a great scientist, but your personality may not be a good one. People are not very happy with you. So there is no compulsion to change your personality. But I found that as I started, walking on this path, and it started giving me so much of joy because it was about myself. I was coming to know about myself, about my own personality, my own shortcomings, and what I have to become. And becoming what? I will become absolutely, free, liberated. At that time, I don't think that liberation, anything I understood, but at least I understood what was joy. The joy which till then I did not understand. I found I was having that joy, which so far in my that much life I have not seen or experienced. That much I can tell you. And this I understood that this is a subject. When we pursue this, we learn this, we tread this path. This is a knowledge which allows us to handle our mind. All our academic subjects, our studies in those, they just give us, degrees, qualifications to build up our career, to go to higher and higher posts in profession, that is, earn more and more money and comfort. But it will never teach us how to handle the mind in the face of difficulties. A best of a student, say the first ranker, when he goes to write an exam and finds the question paper is very tough, the nervousness that he feels, the subjects that he has learned in school or college has not taught the student how to deal with the mind or how to face that nervousness. Similarly, fear, anxiety, worry. But when I started treading this path, I was astonished that this is something which is teaching me how to handle my mind, how to become more patient, more tolerant, to be loving everybody, and to understand the oscillations of my own mind, how it becomes distracted, scattered, and is not able to concentrate on what I have to do. So these things I understood very well. Are you understanding, Kavita, what I'm saying?
I'm understanding, Ma. I think that's phenomenal how you made that distinction, and you said that we don't get the opportunity to study the self in our academic pursuit. I completely agree with that. And even for me, it wasn't until I met you, I met Swamiji, I met Nutan Swamiji, that I even started thinking about all these things. So I completely understand, Ma, and thank you for sharing.